This is the LowcoSports Lowdown podcast. Here are your hosts, Justin Jarrett and Wes Kerr.
Hey, LowcoSports fans, welcome back. It is Monday night, and we are rocking and rolling on the LowcoSports Lowdown. OGs, Justin Jarrett and Wes Kerr with you for now. We will have Max Arraj checking in a little bit later, and we'll recap week 3 of the high school football season, take a little more time talking about that, checking out some highlights. But we will also, before that, be talking with Nathan Campbell, our friend from the May River girls golf team, because they got another dub today. And I just realized I don't even have my banner up there. But they got another dub today at the May River Invitational. Took the lead into the second round, ended up with a 10-shot win over Dorman today. Chesney in third, several strokes back. Like the May River got them pretty good. So, turnabout is fair play. They came home and took care of business against all the big dogs from around the state. Robin Zatror with the individual championship today, her first individual or invitational title. So Robin was a little exhausted at the end of the day today, so she took a rain check on us tonight. But Coach Campbell will join us here in just a little bit to talk about that. How was your weekend, Wes? We had a good night last night, hanging out, doing Sand Shark Rewind. But how was the rest of your weekend?
Well, unfortunately, it was raining.
It was very rainy.
We were able to call the first home game, Sand Sharks, and what was an impressive 4-0 victory. A lot of great takeaway from that. We'll probably talk about that later. We did last in the Sand Shark Rewind, but we'll talk about it again later on in the show today, and we'll get you ready for Wednesday. They'll be back in action right back at Finland Field, taking on Emmanuel coming up in the afternoon, just 2 days from now. So great start to the Sand Shark season, 1-1 through 2 games. First win for interim head coach Stan Huff. That was great to see, and so big congratulations to him and that squad for starting out strong. And a lot of rain, so good weekend.
A lot of football.
Hang out on the couch and watch football. If ever there was a weekend to do it, it was this one. So a lot of great football going on, including some big performances both at the college level and in the NFL from some of our Lowco friends.
Yeah, no question. I saw that Puna. I won't say it. You're probably saving it for parting thoughts. We'll save it for parting thoughts. But Puna Ford is on the NFL leaderboard in an unusual category. Let's say that. But I watched a lot of football. Truman is finally obsessed with the NFL because he has a fantasy team. That'll do it. He and his buddies have a little fantasy league, so now he's like, Dad, should I trade this guy for that guy?
7 hours.
Just having a panic attack just all day long. I told him, I was like, dude, you can't look at those. Like, you can't look at it during the game. It'll stress you out. You got to wait till the game's over and see how it all shaked out. But he's having fun with it. And then we got to go see Beetlejuice yesterday. Don't say it again. It was really good. It was really fun. That was a favorite of mine as a kid. So it was very nostalgic and fun. The special effects were phenomenal.
Like a remake of a movie that came out in the past?
It's not a remake. It's like a continuation of the story.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it was a big one when I was a kid. Michael Keaton as the titular character whose name cannot be said 3 times. We've already said it twice, so we won't fool around with all that. No, it was fun. It was really fun. It was good times. He's a trickster demon. He's hilarious. A lot of it takes place in the afterlife, like an underworld type place with dead people. So it's all good times.
Okay, so horror
fun times this time of year. Yeah, it matches the pumpkin smells coming from the candles downstairs this time of year. But we'll talk a little football. We'll talk about some other stuff as well, including the golf, a little bit of volleyball. Check out some highlights from Buford Sound's coverage of the Warriors Showdown this weekend over at Whale Branch. All that stuff here on the LowcoSports Lowdown, presented by our all-star sponsor, Mickelson Law Firm, our original sponsor. presenting sponsor of our Hilton Head Christian Academy coverage and our official real estate closing attorney. They've been with us since the beginning, since 2017 when we started this thing. They jumped on board to support us, and they continue to do so today. So if you have legal needs, especially if you're in Bluffton, call on Mickelson Law Firm for all those legal needs. Support the people who support Loco Sports, our all-star sponsors, Mickelson Law Firm. May River Golf with the big win. Bluffton volleyball with a really good showing this weekend. They and Bridges Prep both made the semis in the gold bracket. Bluffton lost to Philip Simmons, and Bridges lost to OW, and Philip Simmons beat OW. So pretty good showing from those two teams, who we expect to be two of the better teams in the area, I think. Bridges coming off the season they had last year with the run to the lower state championship, or they went to state championship match because you made the ride up, right?
Yes, I
state
did.
championship
Yeah,
match.
that was a state final.
So they made the state finals. They brought back basically everyone, Coach Wilson back. So you feel like they've got a shot to be competitive. Obviously, they're in 2A now, so it's a little different.
Yep.
But you think they've got a shot to be competitive there. And Bluffton, they won that first matchup with May River, the non-region match, in a Donnybrook, and they looked good this weekend. So, they kind of look like maybe the team. I don't know what Bishop England has, but Bluffton might kind of be the team to beat in that region, which is interesting because they haven't been for the last few years, but it seems like maybe it's swinging in their favor.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's kind of cool to see how the picture of volleyball looks in this area, because this was a region not too long ago which was dominated by Hilton Head, but May River has certainly made its way up in the ranks. Of course, we had James Allen and Lucy Beckham that are once again no longer there, so that shifts a bit too, because they were always two very strong opponents. So it's kind of up for grabs. I think May River is right there at the top. Bishop England, we'll see how they fare. So that's a school that's had some talented Olympic sports teams, especially tennis. So you'd expect Bishop England to play a factor, but I really like May River and how that program has evolved. But it's going to be a fun round robin through this region that I believe that starts the end of this week if I look at our master calendar. Yeah, we got May River, Colleton, Hilton Head, Bishop England, and Bluffton Beavers. I think region play begins on Thursday.
All right, good deal. That's when I kind of start checking in.
Right, that's when you get the
region play
games that matter.
Yeah, there's a lot of non-conference volleyball. So
a lot of like the first weeks of the season, it's like basketball.
A lot of tournaments.
At the college level, it's the same thing. A lot of tournaments, a lot of like a weekend events you travel to, and then you really get into the meat of the schedule once you hit mid-September. So a lot to be excited about on the volleyball front, and then for skis as well. Skis does differently. They have this. I don't know if they do this double elimination tournament bracket like at a neutral site.
Yep. Myrtle Beach.
Or it gets kind of it's hard to follow a bit.
Yeah, unless you have boots on the ground, I just don't know how you know what's going on in there. It's crazy. They play a bunch of games in a day. So checking out some highlights here from Buford's own. I didn't see it till later, but Javon messaged me on Saturday and said that this match was fire. So had to check out the highlights. But it was a good one. Bluffton and Philip Simmons. Philip Simmons going to be a problem in 2A, I would imagine. They're pretty solid.
I believe so. It's always a strong squad in several of those sports, just like Bishop England. So a good matchup here for Bluffton, who I think will show out in region play. I think that's a program on the up and up in volleyball. So that's like exciting. And these non-conference opportunities are how you grow your team as you look forward into when it really matters. So yeah, excellent work by the Bobcats on the volleyball court. I'm looking forward to hitting to those gyms and seeing some matches coming up very soon. But it looks like we have a guest that is waiting.
Yeah, we sure do. We sure do. The MVP sponsors of Loco Sports will present our guest tonight. Megan Jarrett, the official realtor of Loco Sports with Keller Williams of the Low Country. She'll get you into the Loco real estate market. Homegrown home inspections will make sure you're making a great investment. And if you're building a new home, you got to have that phased inspection where Homegrown will check on it every step of the way and make sure it's built right. Hospice Care, the Low Country, our official hospice provider, providing hospice care palliative care, and free grief counseling, plus much more. Hospice Care, the Low Country, where it's not about dying, it's about living. Those are our MVP sponsors, and they present our guest, friend of the show, making a repeat visit, Mr. Nathan Campbell. What's up, buddy?
Hey, I'm all smiles right now. I can tell you,
Yeah,
I am a
your
happy
girls
guy.
keep booking you.
I mean,
Your girls keep
trust
booking
me,
you.
I might as well just get a regular spot thanks to these girls. Wow, they're playing amazing golf right now, and it is really cool to see girls hit their stride. We had a talk beginning of Wednesday morning, I think, Wednesday, Thursday, and the girls really proved that they are battlers out of their course, because this was a 2-day event. This was the hardest thing I've challenged them with yet, and I didn't make it easy on them. So we invited the best teams in the state down. We had 5A state champ Dorman. We had 2A state champ Chesney. You guys know the names. I've been here before. So these are the powerhouse. And they're stacked with college golfers, girls that are going to play college golf. And I'm going to tell you that Dorman's number one was a freshman today, and again, out there battling a hard golf course at Palmetto Bluff. It's not like they're playing easy courses. They were playing Hilton Head Lakes in the rain at 5,600 yards. So longer than they'll play a state championship in. The only thing longer is the Rosie Jones. So, wow. I made it challenging for them because I knew that, they could handle it. And they exceeded expectations as usual. So it was a really cool event. We really cool event. I've got a lot of pictures I could show you. Just that are some, amazing views. I mean, if you've ever been out to Palmetto Bluff, it's a little sight.
It's
that's what I kept saying to everybody when they walked in. I said, "Welcome to heaven." So I hope that's what it looks like.
It's a real treasure. It really is. It is a very difficult golf course too. Those elevated greens will bang you up if you're not on top of your game. So yeah, credit to your girls for an outstanding couple of days.
Yeah.
Like you said, the field was stacked with 5A, 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 5A. You don't get to another 4A team until 8th and 9th place, so that has to feel good.
Yeah.
And those are.
I think Hilton Head's your biggest threat, bro.
Huh?
I think Hilton Head might be your biggest threat.
They had a good weekend. They won a tournament called the Lady Chief up in North Myrtle Beach.
They sure did.
So they've got a great team. They've got a senior. Lexi's been leading that program for quite a few years, and this might be the best team I've seen them ever have at high school. So
yeah, they had some really good ones back in the late 2000s, like Rachel Uremovich years. They had some really good ones back then, but this is as good as they've been in a while, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I've lived in this area that long, So,
right? I have.
Yeah, since I've lived in the area, yes, definitely. But it's really cool to see junior golf, because the cool thing is those coaches came up to me and were just and these are the coaches I look up to, being a second year coach. These were the ones I went to tournaments last year and went, what are they doing? Because I need to copy all this down and figure out what is the equation that'll work best for my girl. And so these coaches, I mean, I'm very thankful. I asked Dorman and Chesney first, and they were like, sure, we'll do it. And I told him I was going to play it long too. I'm not going to play it short. And that's one of the things is you can really tell, some of the good programs, because if you move at length, it doesn't matter. You're still going to be right up there. And it was really neat to see. And the cool thing is Robin has, she has how she wants to play. And then she this weekend and just is on, I think, consistent. As the weather is changing in her face, she's consistent. And so she was able to put in 2 consistent rounds and really outlast that field of, I think it was 17 out of the top 30 golfers in the state were in this tournament this week. So,
nice.
when you've got storied programs.
It's a good state for golf too.
Absolutely
Well,
sensational, Coach.
and we got lucky, and we've got a friend of our program, Mike Minks, who's the superintendent out there, and he really fought hard for us to get that out there. And it was really cool because I didn't want that trophy anywhere else, but you saw what it looked like on one of these shows. Remember, we saw it.
Yeah.
It looked glorious. It was made by
so here in the Lowco.
It's going to stay right in the back of my classroom, so that's where it's going to stay. So
there you go.
I'm pretty happy that that's because then the girls of golf can come in and see it. They're sitting right behind my desk, so I'm as proud of them as I have been all year. And they just keep grinding. Like, it was funny because I told them, we've got a tournament this weekend. We had this tournament on Tuesday, and it's a lot of, so we're going to have practice tomorrow. But on Thursday, and they looked at me like, why? And I'm like, we just have the day off. Like, it's a day off. They were like, well, we can go work. We can go do things, right? I'm like, you can go do things by yourself. I don't
y'all built
need
different.
to be there. Yeah, it's no different than what you normally do. And they were just like, oh, okay. Like, if you want to work out early, you can work out early. If you want to work out late. Yeah, it was fun. They are watching them play tough courses too. You see them grow up on a golf course.
Yeah.
And it really is cool because being around these girls for 2 years and being a fan of them before that,
Right.
I've seen them fall on those tough holes, and I've seen those affect rounds for them, and to watch them, bogey, double bogey a hole and come back at that adversity, especially when you've got the conditions and you're playing against two girls that'll play in college. So every time they're in a threesome, in this format, because we have the groups of three, and so usually it's a Dorman or a Chesney. Well, on the first day it was Dorman and Chapin. So it's not like I gave them an easy way out. And we set up the format. The format was so cool because I studied these other tournaments. And on the second day, that last group, I saw it be really competitive at a tournament when they went 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Puts all the pressure on the 2s and 1s to come in and win it for you, right?
Yeah.
And my
I've
2s
always
and
liked
1s
it that way too.
Yeah, and my 2s
They
and
want
1s
the
weren't
smoke.
giving up that. No, so there you go. You want it, go beat Robin and Claire, the two I feel like the two best golfers in the state. I'm always, I'm going to be biased. And so I'm a homer. And so those girls have carried this program since Robin since 6th to 7th grade and Claire, since 9th grade. And so I'm just a proud steward of this program because they're the ones leading this ship. So it's really a cool thing to see.
You mentioned just their drive to get better. I mean, how much has that work ethic impressed you more so than just how they perform on the course, what they do to prepare for those big meets and those big events? Just, I mean, their work ethic is off the charts. Incredible.
Well, and that's one of the things cool about their work ethic is that, they're just not going out there and hitting balls now. It's with a purpose. They've got something they need to work on. I'm lucky in this area that I kind of I'm not like some other coaches where I know better than you. I know that I've got professionals in the area. So I've got, good Dan Jackson out there at Hilton Head Lakes, who's one of the ones that got us this whole tournament. Like for him to be able to give us a day where we could come out there was really big. And so those kind of people, I know a lot of our girls go to Krista Dutton and Tim Cook. So these people are the best of the best.
They have like world-renowned swing coaches.
Exactly.
So you don't really have to worry about that.
I just feel like I'm the meme,
I got nothing. I got nothing for you guys.
I got nothing. And so I embrace that. Like I was talking to one of our players today about like, hey, even though I won't be there, I think you should work on what Krista was talking to you about this week. And it's easy to reference that because I don't know all the things that she's telling her, right? Yeah. But I know
whatever
that's a
she
trustworthy
said.
source. Yeah, whatever she said. So I'm in a cool position in that I can more used my position for logistical purposes. Like I told somebody the other weekend, I was a logistical coordinator. I just get them to the golf course at a certain time, make sure they have food and water, and I'm good.
Yep.
So it's really cool. I made this tournament after all these tournaments. We had little snack things and all these things. And the girls, my whole thing, and I told a parent this, was I wanted to treat these other girls like I treat my own.
Yep.
And kind of say, hey, welcome to this place. I hope you enjoyed it. And I want you to come back every year. We had little snacks and drinks and the cool thing is I'm trying to learn by doing this. So I don't think I know everything. So I asked the coaches on the way out the door, hey, next few days, when you're thinking about this tournament, what could I have done to make it better? And so I'll take constructive criticism. I am not arrogant to think that, the first time was the best time, right? And the cool thing is we're just going to build from this and make this a showcase event. So you're going to have Rosie's, and hopefully the May River Invitational is talked in that same light soon enough. Again, I'm not saying I'm going to be on that level anytime, because that is a outstanding mentoring event, and they have the LPGA. So that's not what I'm trying to do, a different realm, right? So this,
trying to be the 1B.
Yeah, exactly. I'm okay with 1B, right? And because year 2 of something, like I never imagined that I'd be hosting a 2-day invitational tournament, Hilton Head Lakes and Palmetto Bluff. Like, it's kind of
that's the thing, man. You got great venues. It's hard to go wrong with venues like that, especially if you have the volunteers to put in the work to do the little things like you did, the little details. If you got those venues, especially finishing up at May River, wow, that's as good as it gets.
And so the beauty of them just sitting around that 18th green with those right outside the grill, and you come report your scores right behind Melissa Halsey. I cannot praise her enough. She does so much for our athletic department. And, it's a real cool experience to be at a school that, again, Coach Whitmore was out there as a rules official. So, I just had the support structure. And for me, I'm the kind of guy that's going to ask you for help. So, and I'm learning how to do that better. So, I'm not the greatest at it, but I'm starting to get better at it, because having good people around you makes you trust them and makes you ask them, because they're going to follow through with good things. So,
amen to that.
Yeah. It has to be such a joy for you to coach a team like this. I mean, you talked about it, but how much have they impressed you each day? We talked about the work ethic, but just all around. I mean, the energy, the enthusiasm. What a fantastic team to mentor and to coach. You must be having so much fun in this process.
Yeah, it really is a neat thing too, because we kind of know each other enough that we can have conversations now that are a little bit deeper than just, hey, how's your day? So what's going wrong, what's going right. And that's the cool thing is they're a very trusting group. So I trust that what I say is going to, when I say something, it actually, you take it to heart. And they took a few things to heart this week, and I saw different attitudes out there on the course. It was like won the Lady Bengal. We needed a little jolt to go, you just don't win everything. And so the few tournaments have been rough, and they didn't like their results. And so, and I invited the best teams, so you can't start anything in our tournament too.
I invited the teams that just beat you, so you better get it together.
And I paired you up with them too, so enjoy your day. And that's the cool thing. They didn't skirt from it. They just stared it straight in the face and said, let's go do this. And so, yes, the rain on day 1 was the problem. Day 2 is difficulty, of course, right? And because you've got greens that are rolling level, and then you go over to Palmetto Bluff and they're rolling off. Is the way I looked at it. Like, you put it a little bit too far, and you might want to go fetch that one, because it was going to help. So,
they quit.
They were really quick today. Girls kind of struggled because you were used to something before, in the rain, and now you've got
Right.
something else. So yeah, it's their work ethic, surprising, but now being able to have that conversation has kind of opened up like a new level of this.
Yeah.
So we can kind of go, what's going on, and get to the crux of the issue really quick. And so, and then with their schedules and being able to work with their coaches, it's just kind of all gelled. And when I went to national, I asked a lot of coaches questions like, hey, what do you do about swing coaches and that kind of stuff, and just bounced ideas off of people. So the thing at nationals I learned, because at nationals you can't coach. You're just out there for drinks and water or drinks and snacks. Just you're a cart guy for their team. And so the cool thing is you sit there and you talk to these coaches from Illinois and Oklahoma and Arizona, and it was just really cool to bounce ideas off of them. They have different seasons as well, so some play in the spring, and so some of the difficulties we all come up against, but then some of the cool triumphs, like when you get something that works, you kind of want to share it with other people. Right. So it was neat to hear those ideas from these historic teams from other states that have been winning state championships for years, and we always come to nationals. And so that kind of piqued my interest to like, hey, if we host this invitational, we host these types of events, let's build women's golf here in the country area, and really have two events that people look at that go, hey, I want to get in that event, and I hope they ask me. I've already had some teams reach out from out of state. So we have a Florida state champ that's like a 5-time state champ in the last 7 years reached out, and a team from Tennessee as well. So we're going to start talking to some of these teams and saying, hey, what can you bring? What offer? So we might open it up and just
big to kind of southeastern showcase.
Yeah,
and kind of change the whole area, because and again that's a lot of planning far ahead, right? But if we can somehow replicate this was a magical weekend, I feel, for a lot of people. Again, Robin win this weekend was just it showed something, because she hasn't been doing what she wanted to do, but again, like all of those girls, they just fight and continually go out on that course and know, hey, it's eventually going to be there. And so it's been a good time to be a coach of the May River girls golf program. So I am a lucky guy. And so
there haven't been too many bad times.
I told Dr. Webb he's going to have to pry this job away from. He's going to have to pry this job out of my hands. So like, I love what we're doing. I think what we're doing is going to benefit, women in the area, women's golf in the area, and that's kind of why I wanted to do this, was just to better something. I mean, that's one of the things I was taught as a child. My mother and father were big on if you get something, leave it better than you got it. And so, I got this girls golf program and it was already at a high. So how do you take it higher? Well, you study other people and you figure it out. And that's kind of one of our mantras this year, is figure it out. And the other one you've probably heard a few times is just grind through your round. Just get through that round. It's a grind, and it's got ups and downs. And again, some days it's got more downs than ups. And it's been pass. Yeah, it's been a crazy week, because we even worked the concession stand on Friday for senior night. I've got 3 seniors, Claire, Robin, and Addison. And these 3, and it's Addison's birthday, so let's give a shout out to Addison.
Okay.
5. Yep, Addison. And she actually, great story about Addison. Addison was in my class as a regular student, had just transferred from Minnesota. And not supposed to be in that class. Like, she was a pretty intelligent student, and wondering why is she in here, but she transferred in the middle of the school years. Didn't think much of it. Well, in one of our conversations, she said she used to dance competitively, and I was like, oh, well, she must be an athlete. She goes, well, I really like playing golf with my dad. Okay, cool. I remember this conversation for some reason. When I get the golf job, I wanted Addison. right? And so Addison's number 5 now, and she's out there working hard, trying to just better her game because she wants to go to business school at like a Clemson or something. So, like I just like being there to see that growth too, because
Absolutely.
that's like again, we're just trying to we have goals for her, just like we've got goals for everybody else,
Right.
but they're all different because this is an individual sport, but a team sport. This is the weirdest thing I've ever done in my life. Basketball was so much easier because it was a team sport, and I just had everybody get everybody's team. Everybody's got a role here too, but it is crazy how the individuality of it as well. So you're dealing with individual personalities and a different level, and it's the ups and downs, and it's like caddying for 5 people at once, but not.
And if one of them ain't got it today, you can't just go to the bench and slide somebody in there. Like,
nope. Yeah, that's not how this works, right?
You're gonna have to grind.
You're gonna have to get through that round somehow. So figure it out, right? And so it's these girls deserve all this year. Like, I don't have a social life right now. That's okay. I'll get one in November. Like, I would love a social life, but like these girls deserve this type of year. They are that good. They should play in every tournament they can. I'm lucky I have an athletic department that is supporting some of these ideas as well. They're helping me grow a program. I don't have a JV coach. I don't have an assistant. Like somebody asked me, oh, so how many girls do you have on your JV program? And I was like, Nah, I don't.
We don't have
JV.
one of those.
What's that? Yeah, sorry. No, I just take them all. If you come up and you say you want to play golf, you're on the team, and then we'll figure it out, right? And so it's part of that whole like, hey, people are at different levels, and I just want women playing golf. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And just get better at golf because it's just going to teach you to be a strong person.
Find a sport. Do something. You can find something and get as good as you can get at it. Whether it's sports or arts or, playing an instrument or something. Just have something and get as good as you can get at it. It doesn't matter how good that is. Just as good as you can get. And it'll make you better in everything you do.
And so I for this tournament, since I did it, I actually let the coaches bring a 6th person. So I took a 6th and a 7th as well. And I let EC Harwell, who know from the wrestling match, right, in the lacrosse field, that is an athlete. So when she said she wanted to play golf, I was like, sweet. An athlete that's in middle school? We can figure this out by the time you're in high school.
Yeah. She's a competitor.
And that's what it was today. I wanted her on that course, right? Yeah, you're not going to shoot what you want, Palmetto Bluff, but you're going to remember competing out there and how you battled through that day. And so EC was out there. I've got another one that's 6, Shelby Lucas. And Shelby is going to play multi-sports, I think, for May River as well. And she's now realizing, oh, this golf thing, I could be pretty good at that too. And so, I had them playing 6 and 7 today. And it was just cool after the round, them say, yeah, I figured out why you wanted me to play this. Like it was, okay, it's a little tough. Yeah, but better because I played here today. And that was the lesson they needed to learn.
Yeah. Right on, man. Well, good stuff, brother. Congratulations on another great win. And we will definitely be talking to you guys more down the road. We took a rain check from Robin tonight, but we'll have to get her in here soon to talk about it and reminisce.
Yeah,
and you guys have another big one coming up this weekend, right?
We're leaving on Friday to go to True Blue for the tournament. That's North Carolina and South Carolina state champs. Then we leave from there and drive to Greenwood for the Greenwood Invitational. That is the last time we have to leave the county for the rest of the year.
That's right.
So I am really, my suitcase, very happy about that.
Whoa, so, that is joy right there, especially when you get the big events like Lower State and State.
Coming home, baby.
Love that.
And right across the street. So I got to drive like 7 minutes to one and 5 minutes to another one.
And no doubt we will be there to take in, although I have to, if it's certain day, I don't know if may have to get someone else.
We'll
figure out somebody. We got to get somebody there because I would have loved to have you guys out there on that first day. I talked about it with the rain.
It was so good.
I worked the day job.
Yeah. That's why I didn't even call you guys. I was like, we're good. Like, I don't want you guys to have to trudge through this. But, yeah, no, again, we have state. We have lower state. We've got Rosie Jones on that last weekend in September at Moss Creek. So, cool thing is for us, we don't have to leave the county. But we've got a lot of work to do because, like you said, that we do have another team locally.
You do.
That is pretty good. So we got to be on our P's and Q's because if we have a bad day, they could pounce. And so we've got to make sure that we are doing what we need to do to prepare for that eventuality.
Yeah, they shot a nice 318, 315 up at Eagles Nest Golf Club in Little River to win the North Myrtle Beach Invitational. That's Hilton Head, beating out Conway and North Myrtle. Alexia Milbrandt was all tournament with 78-73. Brooke Nicholas, 78-79, was also all tournament. She's been good. Harper Hedden's solid. Catherine Gavin's solid. And then Maya Singh's their 5. But their 4 can put together a really solid score. So it's going to be interesting. You know, I mean, as you know, any given day in golf, man, it can go sideways in a hurry. So you guys will have to be on top of your game. But that seems to bring out the best in your girls when they know they have to be at their best. They seem to rise to the challenge pretty often. So I look forward to that. I'm hoping for a 1-2 finish.
I feel that, you know, that's going to be a fun time at Rose Hill. And so we've got, with that being in May River's district or whatever we're called, school district.
Zone.
School zone.
Attendance zone.
Attendance zone. With that being we've got a lot of people that live in there that live on that golf course. So I'm really going to like to see all that May River colors and banners and all those things waving. I know the people in that community got a little plan ready and up their sleeve to make sure that they're known on the golf course. They're going to be out and watching and cheering on our Sharks. So we've got enough motivation to bring home that next state championship.
So you're saying the Islanders will be aware that they are on the mainland?
Yeah, they will know. They will know that there are sharks around, so they will be aware that there are sharks in the water.
Right on, man. Well, always great to talk with you, brother. We appreciate you, and congratulations on another dub. And we'll talk real soon.
All right, buddy. I'll talk to you later, guys.
Take care, man. Oh, Gremlin done you. See you, buddy. Nathan Campbell, May River Girls Golf. Another big win for those guys. Looking good out there, the Sharks. But I'm telling you, those Seahawks, do not sleep on those Seahawks. They're lurking. That's going to be fun. They'll go head to head a few times down the stretch too, so that'll be cool. Talking golf with May River's Nathan Campbell. Our varsity sponsors: DDS Web Design, building, hosting, and maintaining websites for businesses and nonprofits to get results. DDSHHI.com is where you can find them. Parker Law Group serves legal needs across Colleton, Hampton, and Jasper counties and helps us continue to expand our coverage in those counties and shine a light on more deserving teams and student athletes around the Lowco. Dr. Ambrose Cole, our official chiropractor, he's at Rooted Living Wellness in Bluffton, and he'll get you feeling right, mind, body, and spirit. And Reverence Wrestling Club, our official wrestling sponsor, presenting sponsor of the Lowco Grind. You can take your skills on the mat to the next level at Reverence Wrestling Club in Bluffton. Those are our varsity sponsors, and we should have Max joining us here shortly. A couple of other things that popped in. Saw Battery Creek got a win over Colleton County, swept them on the volleyball court tonight at home. And also this nice win, JP2 girls tennis with a win over May River, 4-3. JP2 now 6-1 on the season. Cypress Daniel and Anson Daniel winning at the top. Chloe Mallet also won at number 3. Carson Richardson and Sadie Kumel won for May River at 4 and 5, but then the Daniel sisters won at 1 doubles after May River had taken 2 doubles. Marin Urquizy and Arden Flynn with the win at 2 doubles. The Daniel sisters clinch it with the win at 1 doubles. So that's a good win for JP2.
Yeah, very, very solid. That's a great program. That's really moving up the ranks. In the Lowco, 6-1 this season. So excellent start there for the Lady Warriors, especially against May River. That's a 4A school, high school league.
Yeah.
That's an impressive narrow victory, 4-3. So that's great for them. Great for the Golden Warriors, and certainly that's a match that will grow the Sharks as well as they get ready to go into region play, which should be starting off pretty soon. They got JP2 will face Wilson Ball over in Sumter coming up. So busy week for the Golden Warriors, who are off to a fantastic start on the tennis court. So congratulations to them. Speaking of tennis, another terrific run for Jessica Pegula, who got to the final. Unfortunately, lost over the weekend to Sabalenka, deserving champion. She played a terrific match and terrific tournament as well. So congratulations to her. But with Navarro as well as Pegula, who both have kind of local ties, I gotta say, you gotta be excited for the future of women's tennis at the national level. And there's that's when you had like the cream of the crop, like Serena Williams, when she retired. You had a couple of strong female players, but you're trying to find those future stars. And I think the Americans are really starting to round the form, including the guys. So there's some young American male players who have also showed out throughout the Grand Slams this year. So that's always fun. U.S. Open's a great. I always love watching it. Just you got the prime time evening matches, which are a lot of fun. But yeah, great time for high school tennis. As it's I gotta get out there and watch the matches. Sure, there'll be some good ones. There's always some good ones at the nest. Hilton Head always feels the team, and I think this region is going to be a lot of fun, especially with Bishop England coming in the fold. I'm excited to see what Bishop England has. They're always
they're usually strong. So here, I just looked this up because I couldn't remember what JP2's loss was. They lost 4-3 to Bluffton, but they were without their top two players, the Daniel sisters. So then they played a rematch, and JP2 won it 6-0. So
fantastic.
It says 6-0, but
6.
They played a lot of matches. They played more matches than that, so it couldn't have been 6. Had to be 7-0. They played 6 lines of singles and 6 lines of doubles. So they played a lot of matches that day, but it should have only been 7 that counted. So anyway, that's JP2 tennis. Looking good. Max Arraj is here.
What's up, fellas?
What's up, buddy? I've been waiting for you. We had a good talk with Coach Campbell. You didn't miss a whole lot because we talked to Campbell for a long, long time. So we haven't even talked any football, really. We talked a lot of golf, a little bit of volleyball, a little bit of tennis.
Nice.
But certainly we've got time to talk some football, boys. It's been a big weekend for football from Friday through Sunday. And I'm still kind of trying to make sense of a couple things that happened this weekend. That Bluffton loss is puzzling.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Can't figure that one out.
Although Savannah Country Day, never a team to sleep on.
I mean, they got down 21-0. They never established the run.
Yeah.
It was in the rain.
That's a team that was looking for a desperate, strong performance when you lose a couple to start the year. So give credit to Savannah Country about how they play, but certainly Bluffton, you expected a little bit more. Sometimes you'll have that off night early in the year. You start off so strong. Sometimes it gets to you and you use it as a learning experience. But you turn right back around. You got another tough one, and it's an all-Lowco matchup back at the Den against Hampton County.
Yeah, man.
And it's homecoming. Hampton County is not who I was scheduled from a homecoming, but
that's early for homecoming. It's only September.
It means everybody's going to be there. Everybody's going to be at that game.
Yeah. Including half the Hardyville High School population, I think.
Let me say this about Bluffton Savannah Country Day game. I should have I had to think about this over the weekend. And looking at Savannah Country Day's schedule, their first 3 games going into this one were against teams that are just better than Bluffton and better than Savannah Country Day. Like they are just
absolutely better than Bluffton. I guess so. I wouldn't have thought so.
I think I don't know because it's the league that Savannah Country Day is in. They share with Savannah Christian. Savannah Christian is no joke. So you know that Savannah Country Day is going to do their best to try and bring in players so they can match up with some of the teams that are in that region, including Savannah Christian. So while I was shocked at the score, I had a feeling like I voted for Bluffton just because they're the Lowco team and because I think they're good enough to beat teams like Savannah Country Day. But I don't know. I think two reasons that game took place is A, I think it just wasn't Bluffton's night. They just couldn't seem to get anything going. And B, I think Savannah Country Day was really looking for a solid win, and they got that solid win. I think, and it's partly because of how they recruit and the teams that they played throughout the season. So when you go in and play a team like Bluffton, I know Bluffton's a very good team, and I think they're one of the favorites in this region 6-4A. I think it was a good test for Bluffton, but I also expected it to be a much closer game, and I thought Savannah Country Day was going to keep it close, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, like I'm just looking at the score, and I'm like, holy crap, Bluffton's down 3 touchdowns, And at that moment, I knew, oh man, Savannah Country Day is much better than I expected them to be.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I asked Sacha what happened, and he said, "Man, I don't know. Like, I don't even understand. Like, it went sideways early. They got down 21-0. It's raining. Rain is always going to impact them because they throw it so much. And I don't know how they got down so big so fast, but it was not a night. It was not a night to want to be playing from behind,
Yeah,
and so they never really got to establish the run. They only rushed like 8 times. So I think it was just kind of a weird game, and I'm prepared to chalk it up to kind of an anomaly. But I definitely want to see how they respond this week because
because it's the same thing with this game. You do not want to get behind against this Hampton County team because if you do, you're going to be in serious trouble. Serious trouble because Hampton County will eat you alive if you make mistakes.
Well, if they get you in a situation where you got to throw it and then kind of pin their ears back, then and let their guys cover, then it can be tough. That's a really interesting matchup. I would have been inclined to pick Bluffton, I think, just on the depth factor and being at home until that puzzling result last week.
Yeah. That kind of raises an eyebrow. I know it's just one game after those first two, but
but how do you respond?
Hampton County, who's
you just don't know a lot about a team until they get punched in the face.
And that leads to my takeaway. Hampton County, really impressive win over Silver Bluff. I'm very excited.
Good win.
Solidifying that number 1 ranking, I would assume going forward. I'm going through the rankings tonight, so I'm in the middle of submitting my ballot.
Yeah, me too.
But as from the looks of it, I think Hampton County is right there at the top. Just of the consistency and how well they played week in, week out, and potential they have. I mean, it's really exciting because you saw the tough nature of how it ended last year, the opportunity they have this season, a different cast, but still a lot of guys returning from 2023. It's something special is brewing over there, and you can see it from a win like that, a gutsy road win against a very, very good Silver Bluff team. So Hampton County is going to come out with some energy, I think, on the road. They want to show that they are the strongest Lowco squad, the top dog in terms of.
Look at this! Look at this run by Terry. He pulls it on the option, and it is nice. Zoop! It was a good one. Oh yeah, that was nice.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a really close game. For me, right now, this is a toss-up game. I think it could go either way between Bluffton and Hampton County, and I'm excited because I think I'm going to go to that game on Friday. I think that's the game everybody wants to be at.
That's the big one.
It is the one everybody wants to be at.
We do have a lot more. We have a lot more. I think that's the only Lowco on Lowco.
No, we got Hilton Head at Hardyville as well, and we got HFC JP2 the first.
Okay, we got a couple more. Yeah. Beaufort hosting Goose Creek, May River hosting Brooklyn Casey. A couple of good games.
Yeah.
And you mentioned Christian Academy JP2. Although I do think Tilton and Christian Academy heavy favorites in that one.
Woodland at Whale Branch is a good one too.
Yeah, there's a good
one. And Colleton gets a chance. Colleton better win at Stall. They need to win that one.
They need to win that one.
W.
If they don't win that one, I think we can call it.
And Battery Creek needs to win at
Dorchester Patrick Henry. That's a big rivalry.
That is
a big one. Yeah, that's a big one. Yeah.
Hilton Head Prep at Bethesda is interesting to me as well. And Williamsburg at Thomas Hayward. I don't know if Williamsburg's as good as they've been, but they've been real good.
Yeah.
And that game at Thomas Hayward will be fun.
Testing that one.
Yeah, they've competed for state titles the last.
I get easy games this week. Lee at Buford as well. Lee at Buford Academy.
Against
Lee Academy's always like top of their classification.
Yeah, that Christian Academy JP2 game. I mean, after that game against Bethesda, I just still not sold. I'm just still not sold on JP2.
I don't think
you guys were right. The defense is okay, but the offense
there needs to be some improvements.
I thought the offense was coming together, but then they didn't even. I don't think they got 100 total yards on Friday. It was rough.
I should be heavy favorites in that one.
It's for me that defense. Because I mean,
defense is solid.
Yeah, defense is solid, but they're going to get worn out by Christian Academy. By the time third quarter comes around, they're going to be worn out because the offense is not able to back up that defense, and I think that's why I just don't see.
You can't keep them off the field.
Yeah,
I did like this though. 44-yard field goal, school record by Manny Hurtado.
Yeah,
that was nice. But
that's a familiar name.
Speaking of wearing them down, that's what they did in the fourth quarter. Bethesda broke a couple big ones. So JP2 threw an interception right on the goal line, and then a couple plays later, this craziness happened. Look at this dude. Zoop! I can tell you his name, except number 12 is not on their roster on Max Preps. But that was a hell of a play. That was the one that sealed it. It was a 3-point game. They had them backed up on their own goal line, and that dude got loose.
It's so frustrating to watch JP2 play because I know they have potential. It's just they cannot figure it out. And I don't know. I don't see this game being anywhere close against Christian Academy. I just think Christian Academy's got too much on offense for that defense to be able to hold up for 4 quarters. And I just think that JP2 offense just is not working out right now. And I hope they can show something coming into Friday, but I just don't. I just don't think.
I don't know.
I just don't know what to expect out of JP2 anymore. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. I want them to turn it around, but we said from the get-go, like, man, the schedule gets tougher, not easier, for the most part.
I think the only other game that I think JP2 may have a chance to win in is, I believe they play First Baptist.
First Baptist, yeah.
You could expect them to win, but I also heard First Baptist crush.
That's a must-win for them. It's a must-win for them.
First Baptist crushed St. John's Christian this last Friday, so I don't know what to expect out of that game.
I don't either. You know what we can expect out of May River? Lots of this. They went through like one pass this weekend. That was Tanner Macy just plowing in. He had 3 touchdown runs, but he didn't do much otherwise. He was just scoring. But they just have another dude every week. This week it was Sean Mitchell with 150 rushing yards and Andrew Johnson with 114. But also like Haskins had 60 some and Duncan had 53 and a touchdown. And you know what they're going to do, but nobody's been able to stop it so far. And the defense, once again, they gave up 6 this week, but it was a defensive touchdown. So the defense essentially pitched shutout.
Look how quickly they get to the ball and then snap the ball. It's so exciting to watch because they move quick. They move quick down the field when
it's old school Service Academy offense.
Yeah, it's like college pace, to be honest. Like very quick, very to the point. Like they get to the ball, snap the ball, and run the play. I like it. I really do like it, and I like this May River team. I think this May River team is just, showing everyone that they are by far one of the top dogs in that region.
I
think
like a
look the
dark
part.
contender, especially with the ground game, how they've been able to find success the blocking and how they've been able to consistently pound the rock and pick up good yardage consistently, and multiple guys who they can carry the rock, who can carry the rock to success. So fun group over there, and great coach, very well coached team. So I might be I'll have to look at the schedule, but I might go over there and check them out against
Brooklyn Casey game. Yeah. That's an interesting matchup. That's another good test for them. I like their early schedule. They've played some good, had some good matchups on there. A couple that you expect to win, but a couple that you're going to have to fight to get a win. And if they can come out of that early season schedule with 4-0, that'd be pretty impressive.
It would be very impressive.
That would be quite impressive. Whalebridge Woodland is a good one too. That's a really good one.
I do like that.
I got some highlights
from
very good. Buford's own. Oh, it didn't start at the start. We got to start at the start because Jack Kelly taking it to the heathen.
Yeah, dude. Very weird first half. I'm not gonna lie. I was at that game.
Yeah, because the first 3 touchdowns were all special teams.
Yeah, this is the one thing I was concerned about with Whale Branch after that first half was they could not get their running game going against Ridgeland. Like they could not whatsoever get their running game going against Ridgeland, and the only reason they were up at halftime instead of it being like a 7-point game instead of 14 was their special teams. Like they just could not get anything going on offense. And actually, in my opinion, during
Javon, I remember the first time I met you, Javon, at that Lower State Championship game against Dillon.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just with the May River,
Bob Green got hurt in that game, and it kind of killed momentum. That was a tremendous thing they had.
With Whale Branch, honestly, I think through the first half, Ridgeland was actually moving the football down the field better than Whale Branch, which is really surprising.
Yeah, Whale Branch wore them out in the second half, though, and started moving on the ground.
Second half was a different story. They were able to get that running game going the second half. So, I think, Whale Branch is still showing, that they are a solid team, but, they got to have better first halves, or else they could get into some trouble, especially against Hampton County later on in the season. So I think Whale Branch is good. They're ready to go. They're ready to be a solid contender in that region. So I'm not worried about Whale Branch, but I did have a little bit of concern after that first half.
Yeah, Bowers ended up with 102 and a touchdown. Zoe ended up with 62 on 10 carries. Polite had 54 on 7 carries. So they ended up with 223 on the ground, which is solid. But they were a little slow starting. But they didn't even have the ball, right? Because they just kept scoring on special teams.
That's
Bowers was 6 for 10 for 76. He looks good this year. I've been impressed with him. He looks really good running the ball.
Yeah,
he looks real good running the ball.
The one thing I'd be concerned about with Whale Branch is he's really their only quarterback. So I think
if he got hurt, they could go day on. They can always go day on and just run like Wildcat stuff, like they did last year with KJ.
Yeah, that would be the thing. But I would
really like. Big, strong kid. He's gonna be alright.
He'll be okay. But he did get injured towards the end of the first half, and I was wondering if he would be able to come back in. He was able to come back in. So, if he stays healthy, I think this Whale Branch team is a really solid team and a team you wouldn't want to mess with if they make the playoffs.
No, sir. I don't want any part of them. And then Thomas Hayward, also undefeated. They got a big one at home this week against Williamsburg. Nick Robinson, monster night. Tony O'Banner, usual Tony O'Banner night. Not a monster Tony O'Banner night, just a normal Tony O'Banner night, like 114 and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, casual night for Tony O'Banner.
Yeah.
Just another
free and easy.
Antonio touchdown.
Yeah. But they look good, man.
Orangeburg Prep is supposed to be a very solid football program. So for Thomas Hayward to beat them 39-0 is
never easy to play on the road either.
How strong that team is that Thomas Hayward team is just really strong.
They boat raced them in the second quarter. It was like 8-0 after the first quarter, and then it was 33-0 at halftime. They like
I'll
poured
tell
it
you,
on.
that Buford Academy game was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
That was a tremendous ball game. Patrick Henry gave it all the bag and just ran out of steam in that comeback effort. Couldn't recover the onside kick. But man, Buford Academy, a couple different ways they can hurt you. But Nick Underwood, he is a dog. But how about Nick Schuford Jr. Getting
Little Nicky,
yeah, he had a nice game. But Buford Academy defense showed up a couple times. They forced a couple turnovers early. PHA put some balls on the ground, but Buford Academy, I'm liking what I'm seeing. From even though they lost to some tremendous running backs and some tremendous contributors from that team, they're still looking like a quality. I think Thomas Sarah is still the team to beat, but that's an important region win for BA, and they've brought out a couple of hard fought wins at home, like the way that Nick Schuford has coached and has led this team. The defense played hungry. There were a couple times where Michael Tucker Mathis did his thing, but for the most part, they're able to contain the offense pretty well. And the guy that stood out for me was Nathan Shafari Byrne. We haven't talked about much.
Yeah.
The 203-pound senior. He was raking havoc in that game. Yeah. He was
had 2 fumble recoveries, like 9 tackles. He was tough in the middle.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of that region. I know Thomas Hayward's his favorite, but everyone else, it should.
I think it's Hayward, and then I think BA kind of has established itself as the 2. And they don't have to play Hayward till the last game of the season, so there's a long way between here and there. A lot can happen. And then I think Patrick Henry and Carlton Prep are fairly even. I think Patrick Henry's maybe a whisker ahead of them right now, but
I think honestly, we talked about it on Friday night. Like, there's a good chance that all 4 of those teams can make the playoffs.
I think they do.
I think they do too.
Yeah.
I really, really think all 4 teams can make the playoffs, and we could potentially see a semifinal region matchup. So it's just it's very exciting to see how great and how hard these teams play. It's very fun to watch.
Nicky's celebration there was great.
Schubert asked me after we got off the interview on Friday night. He was like, "Do you have any more scores?" I was like, "Yeah, I do. What do you want to know?" He's like, "Give me that Thomas Hayward score." I was like, "Yeah, 39-0 against Orangeburg Prep." He's like, "Oh man, okay." Well, he was like, "Well, I'm looking forward to that game at the end of the year. That should be a really fun one." Is that
no doubt.
Is that at Thomas Hayward or is that at Buford Academy? Do we know?
I thought it was at BA, but let me double check that. In my head, it was at
BA. Be a very good game. Yeah.
Well, yeah, we could have.
Yeah, it's at BA on November 1st. Last game of the season.
But it's potential that those 2 teams could play again for a state championship because they'd be on opposite sides of the bracket, I believe.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yes.
100%. It's a great region. God, all those teams play so tough too. It's so much fun to watch those teams play each other. So I agree. Thomas Hayward's the favorite, but I think Buford Academy is not too far behind.
Yeah, I wouldn't count them out. They look like a different team Friday night as far as just they're coming together. They're a tougher team than they were a couple weeks ago.
Well,
they're
Marcus
just tougher.
Marcus Walsh has been saying all season long that he thinks Buford Academy could have a really special season, and I'm inclined to agree with him. I think they're having a very good season so far.
Underwood's a dude. And it's not just Byrne. Like, Trace Delaney's really disruptive on the defensive line too. Their linebackers are a little undersized, but their DBs are really solid. So, I think they're coming around. They're going to be fun to watch. They're always fun to watch. I mean, Dietrich.
100%.
Look, when you got a senior quarterback who's been starting since he was an 8th grader or whatever, like, you're going to be okay. You're going to be in games. You're going to fight to the end because you got leadership. And then Nick Underwood is a man. Like, he's the real deal, and he's got the Riz, as they say. Like, he's a leader. So I think they got some juice there. They're gonna be fun to watch.
What about the other Buford team, Buford High School? What do we think about them right now? They're 0-3 right now. I just have some questions that
I'm not going to count them. I'm not going to count them entirely.
I'm not either, but I don't know. I need to know more about Samari's arm and about that picture I saw of Amari Patterson with a big old knee brace on today. I need to know about that.
On offense are not 100%. That's concerning.
I'm not concerned yet, but if they play Goose Creek on Friday, if they lose to Goose Creek, I'm going to start getting a little bit concerned with Beaufort High School.
I mean, I'm concerned.
Are they still the number one in this region, or
No, I don't think so.
Not today.
Think so anymore.
I don't think they are today.
I think right now for me, it might be May River and Bluffton.
I think it's May River right now.
If I picked one team right now, it's the Sharks.
I'd go May River, Beaufort, Bluffton right now. Although, actually, I'm not even certain about Bluffton versus Hilton Head. Hilton Head's good, y'all. Hilton Head's good.
I was about to go there. I think Hilton Head could be that team that could.
It is up for grabs at this point.
Hilton Head's tough.
That Hilton Head team would be that, party, the spoil the party,
Yeah.
I think they're that team that could really cause some chaos throughout the region. And I really like the way
it seems like they found something with Walters.
Yeah. And
maybe sort of by accident. I mean, he was 12 of 13.
How about the way the defense is playing?
Defense is lights out.
And then they gave up just 24 to a good James Allen team. So, I mean, that's really good defense by BJ.
24 with no help from the offense in that game.
Yeah.
If the offense helps you out a little bit, that can be 17 or 10.
Yeah.
So, I think the defense is legit. Linebackers play downhill. They're good on defense. And then, when he's good on defense, they're going to be pretty good because he's content to just grind it on offense. And Walters gives them a little something. And I don't know, man. Carson Haynes is very effective receiver. Like they got the pieces there. If everybody stays healthy, they're going to be in a lot of games and give people a lot of fits. I think they're going to roll. I hope our Hurricanes stand up to the test on Friday, but I don't know if we got the juice in the trenches for what they're bringing right now. So I like Hilton Head. I'm convinced that's a pretty good football team. So that region is going to be crazy.
I'm excited.
It's going to be
crazy. I feel bad because I'm the Hilton Head guy. I'm the Hilton Head alum, and I have yet to watch them play. So that's got to change.
Yeah.
Take a trip down to the Fallout Shelter, man. Come on.
Yeah, that's true. You could swing out there.
Yep.
Yeah.
The problem is
good
matchups.
There are some good matchups for sure. Hey boys, let's bring this thing in for a landing. It's late and I'm tired. The Lowco Booster Club, you got Court Lifestyle Pros, Daniel and Debbie Court are with Charter One Realty. They want to bring you home to Hilton Head Island. Eagle Creations has promotional items and custom apparel. They're over on Argent Boulevard, and you can go over there to see what they can do for you. Jay's Barbershop is the place to be in Ridgeland, whether you need a haircut or not. Go in for the great conversation and come out looking stylish in Jay's Barbershop. Barefoot Floor Care at the Low Country. Get your floors so clean, your feet will thank you. Chris Odom and the crew, best in the biz. Hudson's Seafood House on the Docks is the presenting sponsor of Under the Bus, and a great spot for seafood, cocktails, and sunsets on Hilton Head Island. And Hurricane Sports Cafe, great place to grab a bite to eat or drink if you're out in Hampton. Big supporters of LowcoSports. We appreciate them out there. Parting thoughts, fellas? I know, Wes, you had one that I let you save for later.
On the theme of Hilton Head High, how about Puna Ford showing out in his first game as an LA Charger? Not just dominating in terms of his usual presence on the defensive line. He got the big man interception. And not only that, but did you see the tweet today from my man, BJ Payne?
I did.
Puna Ford leading the National Football League, or at least top of the lead in interceptions.
Interception.
I got it.
Puna Ford leads the NFL in interceptions. That's
big man. Let's go. Yeah, I have some takeaways from the NFL this week. Three takeaways for me. Falcons disappointed me on Sunday. My God, it was so painful to watch.
Expected some more.
Well, I feel like the Steelers' defense is just really good right now. My God, it was so painful to watch as a Falcons fan. But if you're a Steelers fan, you got to be happy about that defense. my Lord, they showed out on Sunday. And then the other thing is Daniel Jones is a fraud. I don't know why the Giants have kept him for as long as they have, but he is a fraud.
What are they doing with those uniforms, man?
What? Yeah, what were those? That's your 100th anniversary uniforms? My God, those are ugly.
I think the big shocker.
Those should have stayed in the past. Yeah. Whatever was going on.
The big shocker of the weekend was New England upsetting Cincinnati.
Oh, yeah. What was that? You froze up on me.
Yeah, no. The big shocker was New England over Cincinnati on the road.
Yeah,
that was a weird one. That was a very
weird one.
Yeah. Bengals kind of shot themselves in the foot for most of that game, but stalled effort from New England in that ball.
They're gonna miss Joe Mixon in that offense. He was nice in that offense.
Yeah, they really are.
Yep. He was a huge factor.
I just realized my Falcons are gonna start 0-3 on the season. I just looked at what their next 2 games are. They play at Philly and then they're at home against Kansas City.
Ooh. I don't know. You might catch this.
Falcons tend to play up to their opponent, and they'll get some wins out of some tough games.
You might catch the Chiefs napping. The Chiefs take one off every now and then.
He has a knack for showing up in big games against good teams. So
Kelsey and Mahomes are off gallivanting at the U.S. Open. So
yeah, Taylor was there. Travis and they're having some fun.
I like the one. I'll have to try to find it. The one that said that Kelsey and Mahomes look like the idiot bad guys from a Guy Ritchie movie or something. Or Jason Statham movie, I think is what they said.
Hey, I wonder if there are going to be some local people heading up to see Puna because he's heading down to Charlotte this week as the Chargers visit Carolina. So
look at Kelsey's hat. What a dork. That's my guy, but what a dork.
Yes.
Puna's in Carolina, you said?
Puna's going to Charlotte this weekend on Sunday.
All right.
Chargers heading to Carolina.
I'm sure those tickets were
Carolina team. Bryce Young has been nothing short of a disaster so far. The first game of the second season. At instant injury, Derek Brown out for the year at defensive tackle. Absolute dumpster fire going on.
Dumpster fire. Just terrible. Terrible situation.
It was so bad watching. I watched part of that game. It was just horrible.
Oh, they're so bad, dude. One of the kids at school today asked me, who you think has a better offensive line, us or the Carolina Panthers? Talking about the 1A Hardyville Hurricanes. I said, I don't know. They probably got a little more depth.
Oh, my Lord.
One might be able to go with them, but they got a little more depth.
Jeez. What was it, 33-3 at like halftime or something?
Oh, it was sad.
It was
Are you going to have to abandon them, Wes, and pick a new favorite team? Is it that bad yet?
I'm just going to jump on Puna's band. I get the Chargers continue to play the way they are.
Tickets to the game.
Hey, that Deshaun Watson trade's still working out great for Cleveland, though.
Well, geez. Dude, people were like, maybe we should start Jameis Winston. He might have a better chance than Deshaun Watson. And he just had another allegation come up today from what I saw. He had a sexual assault allegation come up today.
Watson?
Yeah.
Another one? Get that man out of the league. That man's not good enough to keep that job with the record he has. That's crazy.
Dude, another sexual assault during the time he was with the Texans. It just came up today. I'm like, my God, could this be any more like disastrous? I don't know why Cleveland thought it was a good idea to pick him up from Houston. I don't understand. I really don't. I was hoping he would show up eventually, but he just, my God, it's so painful to watch him play.
Well, the reason I thought of him was because I was telling Wes he was going to have to abandon ship like a lot of Browns fans did. Matt DeColius, friend of the show,
the revolving door of
he switched
in Cleveland.
He just bailed on them because he couldn't take it anymore.
I don't blame him.
He doesn't. He's like, I don't even want to root for them. Like, I can't root for them.
how much longer until we think Myles Garrett's going to be like, yeah, can I get out? Just trade me to another team. Like, honestly,
it would be really difficult to root for an NFL team if you hated their quarterback personally. Like that would be tough.
Well, it was me for when I freaking what's his name was quarterback last year for the Falcons, Desmond Ridder.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had such a tough time. I mean, he's a great guy and all, but he just.
Yeah. Before Mahomes,
so
I hated most of the Chiefs quarterbacks. I liked Alex Smith, but there were a lot of haters.
I remember that time a couple of years ago where it was like a long streak. There a wide receiver did not score a touch. It was like either Travis Kelce or whoever else they had, and like it was like Alex Smith was there before him.
Yeah.
Matt, I'm trying to blink.
Castle.
Yeah.
We had Castle. We had Trent Green.
Gosh.
Yep, Trent Green.
We had Brody Croyle for a minute, a hot minute. We had Tyler Thigpen for a couple of seasons. Tyler Thigpen was our savior for a little while.
All I'm saying is,
it was rough times. People remember
this is why you enjoy
this
time, because it's never given to you, especially in professional sports. You have these dynasties, you have these crazy runs. They don't last forever. So you enjoy it as a fan.
Flags
especially
Chiefs are still my favorite to win this year's Super Bowl. Honestly, I think they're the most put together team right now.
Right now, I don't see a team as complete as they are.
I like the Lions.
Detroit.
Sorry,
I like the Lions in the NFC. That would be my dream Super Bowl, Chiefs Lions. Because I wouldn't be that sad if the Chiefs failed to win a third straight because they lost to Detroit. That would be okay.
As long as Josh Allen,
I would love to see Detroit win.
As long as Josh Allen continues the way that he is playing, you can never count out Buffalo.
They were down big early and then
they lost a lot. No, I'm just saying that Buffalo lost a lot. Yeah.
What about that?
And then obviously Baltimore, who barely lost to Kansas City.
So, they were an inch away from going for 2 in the win. So
how about the Chicago Bears, man? What the heck happened in
that game
between the Bears and the Titans? They did not have one single offensive touchdown in that game, and they somehow won it in the second half.
Yeah.
They were down like 17-0 and won by 24-17.
Yeah, they had a couple defensive and special team scores.
Block punt. Yeah. That was a wild game.
I can't believe we had a kickoff return for a touchdown. I did not think that was possible in these weird kickoffs.
By the way, with Caleb Williams winning that, that's like the first time in like 22 years or something that a number 1 pick has won their first game.
And they didn't score an offensive touchdown.
Yeah, they didn't score an offensive touchdown. How funny is that?
I love it. All right, boys. Well, we've done enough damage tonight. We always got tomorrow night to talk some more. So we'll wrap this one up. Thanks to Nathan Campbell for jumping on. Congrats to the May River girls for their title, as well as to the Hilton Head girls golf team for their win this weekend at North Myrtle Beach. Shout out to Bluffton and Bridges Prep Volleyball for good showings this weekend. And to the tennis team over at JP2 on a roll as well. So great show tonight. Enjoyed it. Tomorrow night, we'll see who we can round up to come talk local sports with us. And we'll talk some more football, I'm sure, because we all love to talk football this time of year. But that's going to do it for tonight. Thanks to all of our sponsors who make it possible, as well as to you for showing up to listen or watch. You're the reason we keep showing up and talking, and we'll do it again tomorrow night as long as you promise to hang out with us. So for Max Arraj and Wes Kerr, I'm Justin Jarrett. Till next time, go Lowco.
The LowcoSports Lowdown podcast is a production of Lowco Media LLC and LowcoSports.com, an independent media outlet providing grassroots local sports coverage in the South Carolina Lowcountry. We are sustained by community support from sponsors and patrons like you. Get in the game with a monthly pledge of $1 or more at patreon.com/LowcoSports to keep us going and growing. Go Lowco.